Hi y'all, I'm Allison. Welcome back to the Start and Stop Buddy Read of The Devil in the Dark Water by Stuart Turton. And this was chosen and nominated by Expedition Through Pages, Kim, that is. And so far we are having a lot of fun with it. I am currently 38% into the book, and by the time I am done today, I will reach the 63% mark. So we are reading this little puppy together with a buddy read. And as you know, it's got a twist to it. We've got 4, potentially 5 stops that were chosen by Kim. And whenever we reach those, we close our book, set it aside until the next video comes out, which should be at least probably 24-hour period is what y'all are waiting. I would guess. I don't know. Which, that brings up a point. I want to know how everybody is doing with that aspect of it. Are you just like loving it? Are you groaning and growling at me when you set down your book? Only later to go, yeah, you know what? It really does heighten my anticipation of reading it, because I think it just brings it to a whole new level. You never know what's going to be happening in the book when you're forced to stop and just set it aside. And then you've got all that time to just think about it and anticipate it. And by the time you get to pick it back up, you're just ready. You're like, I want to know. Now, if you just kind of stumbled upon this video by accident, you're going to want to go back to part 1 where we started the book, because today's video is going to be chock full of spoilers and I don't want to ruin it. If you are already participating in our little buddy read, just as an extra safety precaution before we proceed further, let's make sure everybody has already read up to the 63% mark. So if you're reading the same paperback edition or Kindle that I am, that has a total of 484 pages, you should already be on page 305. Our other paperback edition has 548 pages. Y'all should be on page 345. And the hardcover, you should be on page 285. In our audiobooks, y'all should be around 10 hours, 43 minutes. That might be off. I assume the math on the audiobook will get worse as we go along. But you should have reached a magical paragraph that was Crowell's had spotted the 2 ladies and the prisoner dart out, ... As long as that's where you are in the book, then you are at the right video, because I now am going to catch up to y'all. So I will be reading page 184 to 305. And as I go, I'm going to be commenting, speculating, spoiling everything. So make sure, if you haven't already reached that 63%, now is the time for you to sadly wave adieu. Close your eyes, cover your ears as you stumble your way back out the door, as much as it pains me to say. But be sure to come back after you have caught up, because we're having a lot of fun. And Kim has recommended a great book for us to do our little experiment with. All right, I think I covered everything, other than I am having so much fun with y'all in the comments. But I will admit, I'm beginning to feel like I'm in a multiverse, because we're still commenting on stop 1. Stop 2 just went up today, so I was up all night editing that, and comments are starting to trickle in on that. And now I'm about to start reading part 3. And I'm trying to keep everything separate. In my brain, I'm going to have... it's just going to go all over the place. I did finish filming the Sims TBR game today, and you can see where I slowly start to kind of lose it in that one. I went a little loopy and over the top. But, if you're going to do it, the Sims game is the place to do it. And this is not relevant to what we're doing. So let's take my book, move over to the living room, and I'm going to start reading, and hopefully let my brain kind of slow down and just live in the moment for a little bit. All right, are you ready? Let's go. I had to take a break to go put up a poll for y'all, because it's time to decide if we want to add an extra stop to the end of this or not. So unfortunately, you're going to only have a very small window of opportunity after this video goes up, because Wednesday night, which is the day this will go up, I will start filming the next segment, and I have to know if we need another magical paragraph or not. So if you didn't stumble on the poll already, which I'm really hoping you have, then hurry over to my community tab and cast your vote, because y'all are going to decide whether we add that extra stop or not. Without the extra stop, we're looking at about roughly 100 or so pages to finish off the book, or we can split that almost in half. Kim thought it might be fun to add an extra stop towards the very end when everything is finally being revealed and hopefully all of the loose ends are being tied up. But she wasn't sure if we would want it or not. So I am going to leave it to y'all. So be sure and vote on that. I am ready. I'm going to start reading because my brain, yeah. I don't know. I'm here. And I am going to read our last cliffhanger, which was, I think it was the one about Arendt, wasn't it? No, the evil Governor General. By the way, I am loving y'all's theories. Of course, my mind is completely blank at the moment, but I know it'll come back to me. Y'all had some new theories that I hadn't even considered. And I'm really loving all the discussion. And it adds a whole new layer to while I'm reading. I'm like, wait, what if they were right? Because y'all are catching stuff that I missed. Okay, time to read. I've talked enough today. Man, we stopped at quite a revealing tidbit. Okay, those handprints right underneath her portal from where she had seen the face. That's pretty wild. It's actually ash instead of dirt, and there was little holes in the side. Okay, so that kind of eliminates any, regular culprit, I would assume. Because, we still don't know if there's actually a supernatural element, which is kind of fun. It's like, okay, is it really people doing it, or is there a true supernatural element? And I like that ambiguity where you don't know what you're dealing with. So before it was like, yeah, it could easily have been a man dressed up, like the leper. But now it's like, oh, maybe it wasn't. And did you notice the handprints went all the way down to the roof of her husband's cabin, where they disappeared over the side. So, just thought it was interesting that her husband was mentioned within all of that. Anyway, moving right along. I got a long way to go. I can't comment on every sentence or I'll be here till midnight. I'm not starting until 8 o'clock. So I want to know what all the secrecy is about Leah. Apparently, I don't know, did she bewitch those little wooden toys of Marcus's and Osbert's? I really like the constable. I don't know, he makes me chuckle. The guy down in the gunpowder room. And all right, bless his little heart, he's still the clumsiest investigator. He's just going to go into the room with all the sailors and shake a bag of coins asking who's got the information. Yeah, you got to pull him aside one by one and do it on the sly. Plus, he's probably just painting a huge old target on his back, because showing off that he's got money to burn. Because I would assume, those sailors on the ship, they're probably going to close ranks pretty well. That would be my assumption. Whether they know each other or not, Arendt would be the odd man out, and they're not going to give up any information, I would assume. Okay, that was a pretty good idea that the constable had to get Wick to talk, having Arendt throw the fight so Wick can retain his position in the hierarchy. Pretty cleverly done, I think. So he did make a deal with old Tom. So Sarah just overheard her husband admit to Voss that he made a deal, that old Tom made him into the man that he is. So, But he also says that it appears somebody else did it, so he's not currently, I guess, under old Tom's thumb, or he didn't make a new deal. Somebody else did, but I guess he recognizes Tom's work. Oh. Okay, I have a theory on what. So did the Governor General kill Arendt's father out in the woods? Because Voss is kind of linking those two events. Because apparently Arendt and his scar has something to do with the price that, what is his name, Han paid to summon old Tom. No, he wasn't friends with his father. He was friends with his grandfather. But still, he could have easily been the one to kill Arendt's father. Which is when Arendt ran away, and he hasn't seen Governor General since. And if that was the price that he paid and the deal was struck then he would have changed, obviously, from the man that Arendt knew when he was younger. That fits. There's so many layers. Okay, I'm just going to read for a time, and then I'll pop in, because I'm only going to make it like 2 pages an hour. I don't remember what the issue is between Dretch and Alarm. I still haven't looked up anybody's names. I probably won't. Was that significant? Oh, I'm just now paying attention to the map for the first time. The Governor General's cabin is not anywhere I expected. I thought he'd be in the middle, not way over there. Oh, wow, I just saw where Pip's cell is. Okay, it's about time I looked at the map closely. Oh, what I went there for, I wanted to see if Dirge was on the character list. Okay, he's the guard captain. Got it. And Alarm is the first mate. Okay. Guards and the captain. So the guards are with the general governor, and I got it. Alright, so supposedly the Governor General is the one who killed Arendt's father and gave him the scar. Okay, I see. To get his boon. I really like Arendt. You know, the more you learn about him, the more you gotta admire him. You know, just his history with Pip and why he took the last name Hayes and everything. I don't know. Even though he was talking about, you know, his time in war and how he became a mercenary, I still find him very likable, despite his rough past. So the growling was the leper, along with a whole bunch of marks on the crates. Mark of old Tom. So there's a church for old Tom. He's got followers. Wait, where did the leper go? Did he just disappear? Yeah, because they were following it, and then there's no more mention of the leper. I don't know. I don't know what happened to him. Yeah, so Alarm just confirmed I was right. You know, with the sailors closing ranks with their hatred towards soldiers, because they have to give them a common enemy so they don't go after their own command or each other. Yes, I doubt very seriously that Arendt will get anywhere asking the sailors about that one word and trying to find out what happened to Bosie, especially considering his investigative skills. He's going to have to, you know, stumble on something by accident, I think, or Sarah will probably have better luck, but I doubt that, because I don't know that she could even get close enough to question him one-on-one. I wonder what Lauren was hiding in that little secret compartment at the bottom of the ship. Oh. Okay, that makes sense what happened with Arendt's father. 'Cause I'd forgotten how badly he punished him. So the grandfather thought that Arendt was going to be killed by his dad. He was going to be punished to death. Eventually. So the grandfather was protecting his grandson at the expense of his own son. And he asked the governor general, his best friend, to help. Yeah, so everything he lived through, all the hatred and the superstition and everything, his grandfather and the governor could have spared him all of that. Okay, what about this? What if Arendt's father didn't actually die? And he's the one who summoned old Tom. The zealot religious man. That might be a different theory because, they're just... I still think the governor general is just being painted as too obvious of a target. So what about the character that's not there? Which reminds me, we still haven't seen the Viscountess. They are just assuming that Arendt's father is dead. I mean, he probably is, but maybe not. Hi, Finley. Oh, and I had it wrong earlier. The governor general didn't actually do the kill Arendt's father. He, I guess, hired somebody. So, just thought I'd clarify it. Okay, so I keep going back and forth. I got myself confused. Did the governor general, is old Tom there because of the governor general, or is it somebody new has summoned him? I keep looping back around going, oh, it wasn't. Well, no, it wasn't him. So I guess it could be both. It could be twofold. I don't know. I'm gonna pause on the speculating and just see what unfolds, because I've just confused myself. I don't know if you can see Finley, but he's about to fall. He's like laying back. My foot's holding him up. He doesn't know where it went. I like the way he described Pip. So he's not a saint, and he's not as clever, unique, or special. Or I could say that he was vain, greedy, lazy, and sometimes cruel. Every word would be true, but none would be adequate. I really like that. And we don't get Pip's character. Okay, what is up with Leah? She's beyond smart. She's asking her, 12-year-old daughter what she understands about the principles of keeping a ship afloat. She starts with ballast and is cut off. And then so she expects her daughter to know where the best places to hide something in a ship would be. And Leah's like, I need to build a model. Like, sure. So that seems a little remarkable to me. So, because I wouldn't be able to just build a model of a ship, would you? Okay, I'm going to take a little break. And I might dig up a snack or something. I don't know. I'm having a hard time focusing on things tonight. And this light's getting hot. I don't know. I feel like I'm missing a lot. Okay, let's see if I can get my brain to engage. I have a sinking suspicion that I'm not really retaining much today, which is surprising because, well, no, not really. I've been doing a lot of mental gymnastics, so I think my brain might be really tired. But I'm going to see if I can get it to hone in and focus and absorb what I'm reading. Otherwise, I might be relying on y'all to explain things to me. I have a feeling a lot's going over my head tonight. It what? Okay, my brain's not focused. Oh, okay. I was like, what was Crowell's talking about? He's talking about the two ships that decided to carry on through the night, which they didn't do because it wasn't safe and pirates, and so he was calling those other two ships fools. Okay, so I need to see if I can recap this a little. I'm going to test myself. So we know that the Governor General did summon Old Tom back when Aaron was a little boy and his father was killed, presumably. And that was on the behalf of Arendt's grandfather, because it was just a matter of time before Arendt's father killed the little boy through his punishments. So, to protect Arendt, the grandfather and the Governor General teamed up, hired an assassin, had the father killed. And I'm presuming, so an Old Tom ties in there some. I think that's what confused me, because I was under the impression that he made the deal, and the deal was that he killed Arendt's father personally, but I guess not. It looks like he hired somebody to do that. And that's when Arendt was marked with the brand on his wrist, and his life kind of fell apart because everybody blamed him for the death of his father. That part I got, at least. So then Sarah and Arendt followed the leper through the ship and found an altar to Old Tom with that symbol everywhere down there. I got that part of it. And let's see. Oh, Sarah overheard. So she knows about her husband's deal with the Old Tom, or the devil. And I'm unsure. Is it the Governor General that has brought Old Tom back to the ship, or is there somebody else on the ship that did it? Or is it both? Is that something that was made clear and I just missed it, or is it another situation that could be taken either way? Is it another ambiguous situation where you're not supposed to know? Because I feel like I got a little lost with that. Okay, I think I got a handle on it. Oh, and Leah, we don't know what's going on with Leah because of, I just found that really odd that her mom was like, well, where would they hide it? And Leah's gonna just build a model. So I guess she's a savant of some sort, or does she have like supernatural power? I guess that's something we're not supposed to know yet. Okay, maybe I am absorbing more than I thought. I think I'm just trying to read too much into everything, looking for hints and clues, and I'm getting distracted by that and feel like I'm missing the story. I'm also rambling way too much. Okay, I'm gonna focus, laser focus. I couldn't find it, but I think he said he was gonna check his list or something, and I guess that's what these names are that Sarah found when going to meet her husband for her responsibilities. How awful would living life be that way? Wow, he treats her like dirt. She just dropped, the extra drop of the sleeping draft into his wine. And he's basically going to imprison her in her cabin. She's not allowed to talk to Arendt, and he just tells her, undress. Wow. Oh, he just wants his son. Let's say at least it was quick. Damn, he's heartless. Wow, he picked her because she would be the one to hate it most, because he was an enemy of her father. How evil. It's probably getting harder and harder for her not to put more drops into his wine. So any, doubts I had about his character before, because, I was kind of on that little seesaw thinking, well, if he's treating Arendt so well and has compassion and caring for him, he can't be all bad. I take it back. He's beyond scum. I wonder how she's going to manage to still talk to Arendt, because she's going to, because somebody's got to investigate. And we haven't seen Pips in a long time. I wish his role was bigger. Okay, so we have a possible explanation for Crowell's fine clothing and how he's always well kept. I can't remember what it was. Somebody pointed out at the beginning that not only was he finely dressed, but he was also the only one who wasn't a sweaty mess. And I thought that was a really good observation. So I guess he's trying to keep up to his old standards, his old way of life, at least on the surface. So, but I buy that. I buy that's the reason he is dressed the way he is. I may be hoodwinked, though, because he is trying to rebuild his fortune, and he's saying it's going to be soon enough. So maybe he's just skimming off the top or smuggling, his own private stash to sell during their journeys. You know what? There's a lot of people who were nobility and no longer are on that ship. Because Arendt was brought up in the nobility. And we also have Crowell's. And of course, Sarah's nobility. And so it just seems a little peculiar that there are so many on there. But I don't know, maybe that would be normal. But they are on a ship with the dregs of society too, because the crew, those are, the thieves and the murderers and everything. So it seems an odd place for old nobles to be. What if it's the guy that Arendt wrongly accused of stealing the diamond because he ruined his reputation and everything? The case that he messed up. That could be a possible person, but that doesn't really tie to everybody else. Okay, so Van Schuten did something in the past 2 weeks, and he's the same guy who was demanding money for the ale that was used to put out the leper, and now he's, slumping at the table drunk. So our 8th lantern is back. Oh my God, so the lantern turned red and all the animals have been slaughtered. I was not expecting that. I'd forgotten all about that. Ew, and then drawn in the blood is the mark of old Tom. Okay, that just gave me... And the 8th lantern is gone. And the ship is already... So the first of the unholy miracles has happened. And by the 3rd, anybody who didn't bargain with old Tom is slaughtered by those who did. And this is only their 2nd day at sea. They're not going to make a week. Wow. So what? It would have to be something supernatural, right? Because slaughtering all of those animals, I'm assuming there was a lot, that quickly without anybody knowing, because Sarah and Arendt were only 20 paces away. So you would think, the animals would have sensed something was wrong and would have alerted people if they started, if it... Yeah. Okay. The rosary is Arendt's father. Did I actually stumble on it? He disappeared. Maybe he's reappeared. She's being proposed to by an abacus. Okay, now that's funny. I guess who is it? Voss? Wait, he's coming into money too. A lot of people are about to come into money. Are they smuggling their own stuff on the ship, or have they made a deal? Okay, so Voss is a chamberlain, and it was the chief merchant. So the chief merchant and the chamberlain are both expecting to come into money soon. Or no, was it Krauss? Van Schuten is drinking himself under the table. I wonder what that piece of parchment is on the governor's. Oh, it was tucked into the strap of his breastplate. And I was surprised that Creasy goes to his room every night because he's afraid of the dark. I guess because he's been haunted by old Tom ever since he struck his deal. And we find that Sarah, has had her own form of rebellion against his treatment of her by refusing to do that. So I like that, that shows that she has a little bit of power of her own. So a voice is whispering to Sarah. Oh, and it's happening all over the ship. Okay, now that's creepy. I did not expect Wick's reaction to old Tom. He's not swayed or tempted by him at all. So who did Isabel run into that Dorothea is trying to discover? Okay, so we're back to, it's got to be supernatural, right? 'Cause how else could everybody hear in the voice? And it seemed to be happening simultaneously, so it wasn't like somebody was standing outside their rooms. The plot thickens once again. Okay, so their staged fight has escalated to blades. I wonder if Wick's just going after Arendt and forgotten all about their agreement and is just using this opportunity to take him out. I hope not. I don't want Arendt to get hurt. I know he won't be killed off this early. He's the main character. But I don't want him wounded. It's bad enough that Pips is in that small cell. We're going to find out why Pips was imprisoned, maybe. That piece of paper that Creasy stole. And I didn't realize that everybody who heard old Tom's voice, that he was trying to get all of those people to kill the Governor General. So, I don't know. Could tie back to Arendt's father because he was, the general was the one who arranged for that assassination. Casper's the one. Oh, is this all to get Arendt back? It's thickening again. Because Casper von Berg, the one who wanted Pips arrested for treason, for being a spy, is Arendt's grandfather, who conspired with Governor General to kill Arendt's father. So this wraps up neatly, maybe too neatly. My microphone was caught up in the blanket, and she was on top of it. It was like wrapped around it. And now she's taking all of the couch. This is what she does. She sleeps in my bed, and she steals all of my space, and I end up, this is how we sleep at night. I get like this much of the bed. You little stinker. Lily, come here. I like the table for my drink. We both want the same corner. Okay. Yes. All right. Are you cold? Yeah, my dog's not spoiled. Ah, goodness. This whole big couch and we're on one little cushion. She says if their plan is successful, she'll disappear. So she is planning to run away. I would assume her and her daughter, and Crazy's going to help her. Oh, I forgot about the other crate, and that's why he's drinking. Interesting. You know, they're not very good at investigating. Nobody is. just an observation. Oh, I bet Isabel has been down in the cargo hold because she smells like the paprika. Okay, I take it back. Maybe the girls are better at gathering information than I was giving them credit. They're just not very good with the interviewing. There we go. They need to be a little bit more indirect. I think Crazy has a better handle on it. Finley's bothering one of the girl cats. I gotta see if I can keep him here. I just don't want anything to do with him. And he stalks them every night, and then it's a whole night of just hissing cats. I'm really tired of it. I'm hoping eventually they'll get along. They have these pheromone collars that are supposed to calm them, but I don't know. It does help, but not enough. He's gonna go torment the cats. So I wonder how many innocent people they persecuted. Yeah. Claiming that they were possessed by old Tom. Okay, so they're not turning back and now the storm is upon them. 2 weeks they've dealing with this tempest. Imagine how terrible that would be. So Kurz has just disappeared. Yikes, it looks like the nobles may be in danger from the crew. The resentment and jealousy is building. Oh, and apparently the leper's still roaming the ship. So 3 have died in the dark. Wait, Wick and Arendt haven't had their fight, right? I think they got sidetracked by everything else that was going on. Man, that's a fierce storm. I just imagine how terrified the passengers would be. Poor Henry. The little carpenter's losing his leg because it's broken. Okay, I don't know to talk more about the storm. That was unbelievable. Or the fact that they're going to get the folly. And it's going to be revealed what it is and what it does. And that's where the page break was. Unbelievable. So now we gotta wait. Oh, this close to, figuring out one aspect of this. You gotta be kidding me. Okay. So quite a bit happened, made it to the 63% mark. And the book's turning out to be quite different than what I expected. Not that I'm necessarily sure of what I anticipated, but I know this isn't it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just I'm coming to realize I have no idea what to expect. I did notice, our little tagline up here. A murder on the high seas, a detective duo, a demon who may or may not exist. And I keep wavering back and forth on whether there actually is a demon, if there's a supernatural cause for everything, or if there is a perfectly logical, rational explanation for everything. I don't know. I can't decide. Just when I'm convinced of one, then you get evidence to support the other. So like that eighth lantern is pretty freaky, especially when, all the animals were slaughtered at the same time. So that could have been a supernatural event, but alternatively, it could be that that light was signaling somebody on the ship to do it. I mean, we do have the leopard running around somewhere, creating this altar and everything. So I am disappointed that Pibbs has such a small role. I wonder if he's ever going to become a prominent figure. And we still have never seen the Viscountess. So I don't know. We definitely know for sure that Sarah's husband, though, is a bad guy. There's no question about that anymore. No question. And I'm glad to see that she is forming some kind of escape plan, I would assume. I would assume she's planning to run away and Creasy's going to help her. There's a lot of them that have a cloud over them or a cloak of suspicion. There's quite a few on there, the nobility that have fallen, lost all of their wealth and status, so they could have made a deal. I have no idea. No way to know. But I am curious to know, what do y'all think? Is it leaning? Do you think it's supernatural, or do you think it's just plain old bad human behavior? Because Michael in part 2, one of his comments was he was waiting for, the Scooby-Dooing of the predicate, just unmask the bad guy. And that I kind of have that, I'm with you, Michael. I agree. There's half the time I'm just waiting for the bad guy to be unmasked and, by those meddling kids. And the other time it's just like, oh no, there's more going on here. So I guess we're just going to have to wait to find out. There's no other way around it, because I can't make a definite, no clue. We do need to find out what our next paragraph is going to be. Oh, and I'm relieved to see that y'all discovered my little poll that I put up tonight, because I was like, oh, we have to find out if we're going to do an extra stop or not, because in my next video, we've got to announce that. So, I was like, uh-oh, I'm going to run out of time, because I'll be doing that one on Wednesday. So hopefully everybody saw it. If not, you will have just a little bit of time after this video goes up. I might have to end the poll a little. No, it should be okay at 6, and I'll just tack it on at the end. So, if you haven't noticed it yet, over on the community tab, there is a poll asking if you would prefer to just do one stop towards the end, or if you want to use that optional one and split those last 100 or so pages in half to give us time to dissect all of it. Because I would assume there's probably going to be a huge reveal at the end. So anyway, that will be over there. So cast your vote, because I'm going to let y'all decide. I don't want to make that decision. Okay, we need our next stopping point and magical paragraph. Okay, next time we are going to 80%. We're getting close. For the Kindle and my edition of the book, that will take us to page 387. So we have a smaller segment next time. For our other paperback, you will be going to page 438. The hardcover, that will put you at 362. And for our audiobook listeners, that should be around 13 hours, 36 minutes. Start listening before, because I think we're getting a little bit further off each time. Because I don't know, I don't think I calculated that extra 2 minutes. So that might be throwing things off. So the paragraph you will be watching for: her eyes prodded at the furnishings, searching for some other explanation. Her eyes prodded at the furnishings, searching for some other explanation. And when you see that, that means it is time to close your book and put it aside until the next video. I can't believe we're already 63% of the way through. I am having fun with this. I'm a little tired today mentally, but I'm really enjoying it, and I'm loving y'all's feedback. So keep it coming. I will do my best to keep up with the comments, but I might be getting slower and slower as we get deeper into this because, you know, I'm fighting the editing battle and the comment. Yeah. So my hands are full. All right. I am going to leave it here, and I can't wait to hear your opinions on this one. Supernatural or not? See what the general consensus is. I will be back with y'all in 2 days, day after tomorrow, and we'll be reading this next segment, getting up to 80% with our next stop. All right, y'all have a good one, and I hope to see you very soon. By the way, if you haven't done so, subscribe. Bye. Finley's on my lap, and he's attacking the cord for my microphone. I would be so angry if he chewed through this cord. I swear this cat is a menace. Here. Hey, no. Finley. Oh, that's what I need to do. Give Finley catnip. Oh, God. Thought's enough to terrify me. He's trying to eat my cord.